Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some American Trucking Simulator with Realistic Economy. This is Yurok and we are right here, and if you haven't already, go ahead and give us a like button, a subscribe button, that notification bell. Also, don't forget to leave comments down below. Now, we're about to head out to I think it's Moab, Utah, that we were able to get a load going toward California. We're still trying to get there. So we're heading to pick up that load. We have been there before. There really just wasn't any loads that we could do that went to cities that we haven't been to. We just didn't have any options. So I decided to go to Utah instead. We got a little bit of ways to go get our load here. So 65 miles to pick up our load, and then it's around a 400-mile trip, I think, a little bit more than 400 miles. But we do have to drive a little ways to get it. But like I said, this is the only load going toward California that we could do in one episode. So kind of where we are. Our load, then we'll head on to Utah, and then hopefully we'll be going into California next episode, getting a load that will go to a city in California that we haven't been to yet. Alright, let's go ahead and get in our view here. Alright. Load. It's going to be right up in here. Looks like there's our load. Alright, so we are headed to Moab to Exxon Mobil station. We're taking some big tires. So a load of tires here. Let's go ahead and get back on. There we go. Headed to Moab, Utah. Like I said, we're still trying to get to California, and hopefully our luck will be better toward getting other loads going to cities we haven't been to. But like I said, this was basically our only option going toward California that we could finish in one episode. There were several external contracts that were, like 1,100, 1,200 miles going into California, but I'm not going to have time to record back-to-back episodes today. So with the external contracts, you got real time, but hopefully, we can start doing some of that a little more. My schedule is opened up a little bit, so maybe here in the future we'll be able to do some of those longer loads. But right now we're headed in the direction of California, going from New Mexico to Utah, and then hopefully from there we will have some loads going to either Arizona or California, to places that we haven't been. Those are the next kind of two states I'm going to work on. But Utah also has a few cities that we haven't done, so we're just, like I said, we're going to keep trying to go to cities we haven't been to, if possible. And if it's not, we'll just take a load that we can complete in one episode. But yeah, 469 miles left on this trip, so a pretty good lengthy load for us. We are making a decent amount on this one too. Yeah, like 1,800. Let's go ahead and let this car. Oh, well, maybe not. Now they're gonna go. Okay. Anyway, we are doing our best to get cities knocked off. Of course, the further we go, the harder it's going to be to get to cities we haven't been to, because of there's just going to be less cities. So, but this one was going in the right direction, so at least we will try to stick around the Utah, Arizona, California area, Nevada possibly. As we're trying to, unlock these cities. So kind of broaden our range a little bit. Those are going to be the 4 states: California, Utah, Arizona, Nevada, that we look for places we haven't been yet. And of course, there is a possibility of us driving through some of those towns. And we got to stop at a way station already. Man. Next right, huh? Of course, they want to slow us down as always. Alright, clear both ways. There actually was one load that we could have taken, but it was too heavy for our truck. So let's go ahead. Alright, so 445 miles left on our trip. We will get there, and hopefully from there, if we'll be able to get a load going to a city we haven't been to in one of those 4 states, kind of giving us a little bit more of a choice there, by opening up 4 different states we can go to. So Utah, Arizona, California, Nevada, that's where we're going to be in for the foreseeable future. We're going to try to knock out towns in those states. Whether it be short trips or longer trips, we're going to try to go that route. I'm going to check the freight market each time to see if we can get loads, so we're not just always doing external contracts. But lately, external contracts have been the only thing that's given us the directions we want to go in. So we'll keep doing those if we have to. I'd rather not be limited to 65 miles an hour, but nothing I can do about that. If it's the only load we can get, it's the only load we can get. But we are up to $70,000. Of course, we will have a loan payment coming out here in a little bit. But hopefully a few drivers will come in. Well, there we go. $243. All right. A little short load for him. But hopefully we will be able to bring in a decent amount of money. and get us another trucker on the road. That is our next thing, and then after that, we'll be purchasing another garage. And like I said, probably going to purchase a garage in California, um, and then we'll go back toward like either Arkansas or Nebraska or Texas for the garage after that. We just kind of buy one on the West Coast, one in the middle, back and forth. Just whichever ones we choose to buy. But we're a ways away from that. We still got to get one more truck for our Kansas garage. So, and like I said, hopefully in the next few episodes we'll be there financially to be able to do that. And like I said, we will buy used trucks with 50,000 or less on them, but otherwise we have to purchase new trucks. No more anything over 50,000 we can't purchase. I think that's a fair thing. 50,000 miles on a truck is not very many miles, so we will purchase used ones if possible through the next garage. Now, after our fourth garage is full, we'll just buy new trucks. I was gonna do that with this one, but we're still trying to get into making a decent amount of money every day. We want to try our best to increase our company. So being able to purchase good used trucks is a must for that. But once we get 20 trucks on the road, counting ourselves, we will definitely be going to all new trucks from there going forward. The only used trucks after that will be the truck that I drive in between our 10 level gap. So this truck will go to another driver at some point, and I will buy a truck for ourselves. And when we get to level 30, that's when we're going to purchase a new truck, and that will be a Peterbilt. After Peterbilt, I'm not sure. We will be driving at least one of each truck, so we have 4 more choices after the Peterbilt, which are Mack, Western Star, Freightliner, and brain is escaping me right now. Mack, Freightliner, Kenworth. So we'll just, like I said, we'll play it by ear. I know Peterbilt will be our level 30 truck. I'm not sure what level 40 and so on and so forth will be. Let's see if we're going to pick up this dealership going by here. Might get it, we might not. Oh, we're kind of close. Edge over a little bit, maybe try to get it that way. And we did. Oh no, we got it. Kenworth dealership. Alright. Not really the right way to do it, but hey, we got it. Now at some point I do plan on once we have a lot of trucks on the road, like probably our next garage gets full, I plan on going around and trying to get some of the stuff we haven't discovered, just to add more of the recruitment agencies and dealerships to the map. But right now we need to make money, because we won't be making money when we're doing that unless we take loads to a city that has something we're looking for. But and maybe we'll focus on that once we knock a lot of these cities off of the map. We'll focus on trying to find a load to cities that have things that we haven't discovered, and I'll just have to make me a list of those places where there are recruitment agencies and truck dealers that we haven't discovered yet, and that will kind of dictate where we go once we start knocking off a lot of cities. We may try to break it up a little bit, like maybe after we get these 4 states done, California, Utah, Nevada, and Arizona. Maybe after that, or Missouri if Missouri comes out, or whichever comes out before then. We'll say after, we'll work on these four states until that next map comes out. When the next map comes out, we're going to focus on that, getting it knocked out, and then after that, we will try and maybe take loads going to places that we have things that we haven't discovered, so we can do that. So I do want to discover all the different recruitment agencies and truck dealerships. They're just achievements, but I like achievements. Like I said, I am kind of a completionist, so I like finishing all the things I can in games. So we will definitely be working toward that. And I think that'll be the best way to kind of break up the cycle, is do a few states and then focus on unlocks, and then do a few more states and focus on unlocks and stuff like that. But anyway, because there have been a lot of towns we've been through that we haven't gotten dealerships and recruitment agencies because of having to go off the road to get them. So like I said, we will try our best to get those things done. But we got plenty of time because, like I said, this series is going to go for quite a while. We still have a lot of states to come out, and a lot of cities to explore. So, but yeah, I think limiting ourselves to one state at a time has been kind of difficult. So we're going to try to expand upon that. We'll do it in quadrants, kind of like, or sections. It's not really a quadrant, but a section of states. So we will focus on California, Nevada, Arizona, and Utah until another state map comes out. Whenever that comes out, we'll focus on it, and then we'll get back toward trying to find some things that we can explore, and also we'll move back into. So if Missouri comes out before we finish these four states, obviously we'll head into Missouri, get that state knocked down, get all the towns explored there, and then we will head back toward California or wherever we are at that point and start trying to unlock the cities, and also do some things to places we haven't been. I'm gonna have to go through and sit down and make a list of those towns that we've been to that we haven't discovered things. There are quite a few. I'm gonna do my best though to always check when we go somewhere if there's anything there. Now, I'm not gonna always get things in cities that we might cross through just passing by, but we will eventually get those things done too. But I've got to sit down and make a list of all the recruitment agencies that we haven't unlocked in towns that we have been to. Same with the dealerships, because I do want to do that. But anyway, so we have about 275 miles left on our trip here to Moab. And then, like I said, hopefully next episode we'll be able to find a load going to a city we haven't been to. Let's get on this truck here. And now once we get our next truck, I may decide to try to put a heavier capability in this truck so we can pull the heavier loads. It's just something I'm going to have to look at going forward. Really and truthfully, I don't mind upgrading, but I know we're only going to be driving this truck for 5 more levels basically. We're already 24, so 25 through 30. When we get to 30, we will be buying a new truck, which will be a Peterbilt. Um, and then after that, I don't know if it's going to be Kenworth or Freightliner. I kind of want to go Freightliner. I didn't really get to drive a Freightliner very much. And also Western Star is one that we haven't driven a whole lot. I did drive a few Kenworths, and I've driven a few Macs, but we will eventually own one of our will have driven one of each of those trucks. Like I said, all the way to level 70, and then at level 80, we will probably be buying top of the line everything we can get on an international truck, because that is my favorite brand. I do like the Volvo though, so I may change my mind and go to a Volvo instead of an international, but we'll just see as time passes on. And one of our drivers wasn't able to get a load, so we lost a little bit of money there. And another driver was unable to get a load. We're going in the wrong direction here on our money. But that may have been due to an update in the game, because it kind of resets them. But it's alright. We'll still be around 65, 66, 67,000, somewhere in there, even if our drivers don't bring us in a whole lot of money. Alright, 214 miles left. There goes our loan installment for the day. driving through Utah, and these places have all these curvy roads, so it makes our kind of shorter loads seem a bit longer. Because this one was only 400 something miles, but it's going to take us half a day to get there, over half a day to get there. We've already lost an hour from where we started because of the roads and traffic. And that's part of it. That's why I chose this particular one instead of one that was like 800 miles going to California, because I wouldn't have been able to get it done in a day. So just did what we could do. Got a little bit of money in that time. Nice to see. One of our drivers brought in a good load, so with what we're delivering, well, put us back over 70,000. So not necessarily too much in the positive, but at the same time, we'll be in the positive once we deliver our load. So we're down to 150 miles left. Going through Montrose. Time just ticking away here. Alright, should be getting our green light here. I don't know what you're thinking about, car. Down to 147 miles. miles left. Like to meet a boo boo back there, but we handled it, sort of. Pam over there in the seat is saying, would you just drive normal? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. Alright. Anyway, we got 110 miles left on our trip here, so almost there. Like I said, here we are going through a city where another something that we can't discover from here, so we'll have to come back here at some point and get that one. There's another $2,500 coming in, so we are in the positive for the day, which is where we always want to be. Rather be bringing in more than what we've brought in today, but it is what it is. Sometimes drivers just can't find loads and they have to return home to fuel up and all that and get repaired. But we are going to end up with about $3,000 more than what we started with, so at least that's good. And of course they want us to stop at a way station. Alright, so way station is here, port of entry. Alright, that truck just kind of disappeared. Dude, move on. Alright, 84 miles left. Traffic. Don't see anything. The car's turning. They can wait. without causing a wreck, so I'm doing good. Alright, it's 39 miles left. We'll get this one delivered, and then next episode we'll see where we're going to be going. And go from there. Like I said, instead of just trying to focus on the one state, I think it'll be easier for us to get loads to cities we haven't been to if we kind of open up our to different states that we can go to. Now Missouri, or whatever state, when new states come out, we'll be sticking to that state to complete it. And if we have to go outside the state for a load or two and then come back, we'll do that. But we do want to try to end up doing those loads in those new maps when they come out. And between now and then, we will see what we can do. But yeah, sticking around California, Utah, Nevada, Arizona, just give us a more broad choice of places to go to. I think it'll help us out. We'll be able to look at a lot more locations we can go to that way. And of course, if we can get us a load to a city that we haven't been to in a different state that's in our well, we can go down here and get it. Yeah, I missed my turn as I was talking and wasn't paying attention, but at least we can loop around up here and get it. But like I said, there are a few towns in Colorado and places like that that are not too far away. But like I said, we do want to try to hit up, Utah, Arizona, Nevada, California. There's quite a few cities in between those states that we haven't done. So we will try our best to do that. But I'm not gonna focus as hard on cities that we haven't been to, as long as we're staying in the right area. If we can't get one to a city we haven't been to, we just can't get one. We'll just have to, take what we can get. And like for this particular load, we're probably going to take a load coming out of here, going wherever we can, for the simple fact that this is a long way out of town, and just so when we have these deliveries that are not close by, so to speak, we'll probably take a load from here going wherever. Now if it's going a little bit out of the way, we'll do that, but hopefully we'll be able to get one going in the right direction, whether it's to a town we haven't been to or not. We'll just take what we can get when we can get it. And but it doesn't make sense to go all the way back through here without a load, so we'll probably pick up a load here, going out to wherever we can go to. But we will try and get one going in the direction that we're wanting to go. Let's go ahead. We have to turn here. They want us to put these tires. Alright, so right there, which is going to be kind of interesting. interesting. What we're gonna do, make it a little easier on us. Let's go through here and turn around. Kind of give us more of an angle to back in. Pull through the area here, then back into it. I don't think we're going to be able to swing it quite as much as I wanted to there. Again, not getting where I want to go. Let's try another angle here. There we go. What I'm looking for there. Alright, good deal. Alright. So decent load. Not too bad. Alright, we're up to $74,450. Let's go ahead and end our video. So I do appreciate everybody being with me here today. This is your Rock, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification bell. Also, don't forget to leave comments down below. All that stuff for you is free, and it helps me and the channel grow, and I do appreciate all the support you've given me so far. You guys rock. I love you guys. I hope y'all have a blessed day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye now.